magkita kayo. O magandang araw mga banateros, at ito na nga, bigla po tayo napagawa ng video. Bakit to? Kasi meron na namang nagpapakalat dyan na kesyo tumakas na daw si Pangulong Duterte sa Pilipinas dahil dito sa ICC na to. Una sa lahat, mga putang ina nyo. Yun ang masasabi ko sa inyo, mga putang ina nyo. Bakit kanyo? Alam nyo, kung sino mang nagpapakalat na to, ito, binabasa ako natunugan. Ito ang title natunugan. Rodi Duterte flies to Hong Kong amid ICC arrest warrant rumors. Panelo siya sees meeting OFW. Isa pa, mga putang ina nyo. Hindi totoo yan. Alam nyo kung bakit?
Bakit tatakas si Tatay Tigong? Diba? Tatakas lang din niya. Kung tatakas yan, bakit sa Hong Kong lang pupunta? Maungas. Mga fake news kayo, mga animal kayo. Hindi nyo kaya si Tatay Tigong kahit may edad na. Ako din, no? Nako, ang sarap niyong pagmumurahin talaga.
Ang linggo na ho namin ina-announce sa SMNI, sa programa naming Banateros, na pupunta si Tatay Tigong sa Hong Kong.
Saka naka-TV, nakalagay sa Google kung saan pupunta si Tatay Tigong. Atin ng rally sa Hong Kong. Hindi po tatakas. No, doon sa mga nagpakalat niyan, mga animal kayo, hindi nyo kaya. Lalo na yan si panood ko, sabi din niya, tumakas daw si Tatay Tigong, si Alicia Comment, yung vlogger nila. Ang sarap sungal-ngalin ng bunganga ng babae na yan.
Ito po'y mahigit isang linggo na. Planado na ho ito. Hindi ho pwedeng bigla-biglaan magkakaroon ng event sa Hong Kong. Hindi ho parang Pilipinas yan na pwede mo bigla-biglain. Hindi, gusto namin mag-event. Hindi ganun yun. Yung event na po na yan, ay planado ho yan. Kaya pinapaalam mo na maayos sa gobyerno ng Hong Kong. Mahigpit po sa gobyerno ng Hong Kong. Hindi pwedeng lumagpas ng bilang. Kailangan yung oras sakto or else papatayan ka, bawalang late. Hindi pwede katulad ng nangyayari sa atin sa Pilipinas na nalilate yung ibang mga kandidato. Hindi ho pwede dito yan. Nandito po kami sa Hong Kong ngayon. Ngayon mismo. Mga putang ina ninyo. Alam nyo, ang ganda ng dating ko dito sa Hong Kong kasi medyo malamig-lamig pa ang panahon dito sa Hong Kong. Pagdating nung nagpasa ako nung galing ako sa airport, papunta na ako sa hotel. Pinabasa ko, Rodi Duterte flies to Hong Kong amid ICC arrest. Abay, mga putang ina nyo talaga. Nakakainit kayo ng ulo. Ako iniiwasan ko na magmura. Iniiwasan ko na magmura. Pero nung nabasa ko to, nagalit ako. Nagalit talaga ako. Sabi ko, tangina ninyo, dumi ng isip nyo. Ang hirap-hirap mag-preparation dito. Lahat inaayos mo. Inayos ng mga taga-KOJC to, PDP laban, inayos ng Duterte team mo, lahat ito inayos nila. Matagal na pagpaplano ito. Bakit kanyo? Remember, noong 2016, at tanda ko bakit to. Kami personal ang nagpuntat ng kampanya. We represent PRRD noong time na yon. Ang Mocha Girls, alam niyo yan. Lumabas pa nga yung video. Ako po yung nag-video nun tingnan nyo, si Mocha nagsasalita. Dito, yung para kay Duterte, punong-puno ng tao. Tapos, sinabi niya, tumingin ka sa kanan. Ako yung nag-video nun. Walang tao. Si Lenny Robredo nun. At saka yung si Mar Rojas. Nandun pa sila, sila Corina. Lahat ng taga-ABS-CBN nandun. Ayun ay makasaysayang nangyari sa Hong Kong. At alam nyo, isa yan sa nagdikta ng, ng pangkalahatang trend para sa mga OFW. Kasi alam naman po natin, Hong Kong ang isa sa pinakamadami. Aside from Middle East as a whole. Kasi Middle East, marami ho yan di ba? Iba't ibang bansa po yan. Marami ho yan, kaya marami ho sila. Pero dito kasi iisa to Hong Kong yung isang bansa na to Hong Kong, grabe ho ang OFW dito. Nung nagpunta po kami dito, kitang-kita po namin ang tindi ng followers ni Pangulong Duterte dito. And we reported it at that time. As a matter of fact, nung nanalo si Presidente Duterte noon, isa ko kami sa inatasang bumalik at magpasalamat ang Mocha Girls, si Mocha Usod, para bumalik at magpasalamat, sumasuporta sa mga OFW kay Pangulong Duterte. At kasama po nun si Inday, VP Sara Duterte. Kasama po siya nun. Pero this is the first time na pupunta si Pangulong Duterte dito na may rally. Okay? First time. Nakapunta si Pangulong Duterte dito, alam ko, hindi rally yun. Pero nagpunta siya dito, ngayon lang yung rally. Kaya handang-handa. Kasi, alam nyo, yung venue bukas, ako nga sinabi ko doon sa organizer, maliit yung venue na yan. Kasi yung kami noon, ano na ito, labas ho ito ha, sa labas. Pero punong-puno. Ito ngayon, nasa stadium lang. Ay sabi ko, siguradong mapupuno yan. Paghandaan nyo yan. Dahil iba ho ang mga OFW ng Hong Kong. Talagang kakaiba ho ang mga OFW sa Hong Kong. Talagang matitigas ho ang mga kababayan natin dito. At paninindigan nila. Kaya nga ako, mga kababayan, ngayon in-upload ko ito umaga ng Sunday. I-upload ko po ito Sunday ng umaga. So napapanood nyo ito Sunday ng umaga. Panoorin nyo po ito. Dahil alam nyo, nakakainit ng ulo. Napakatarantado ninyo. Alam niyo yung ICC na yan? Putang ina, ilang beses nang sinabi ni Trillanes na ayun na yung ICC. O hanggang dito ka na lang. Hanggang dito ka na lang na buwan na to. Hanggang dito ka na lang. Aarestuin na. Aarestuin na. Putang ina, saan na-aresto? Ba't tayo susunod doon? Hindi naman, ano ba tayo? ICC country? Tayo ba membro ng ICC para arestuhin si Duterte? Abay, gago pala kayo. Ano pinalalabas ninyo yung Tumakas si Pangulong Duterte dito sa ICC? Abay, mga hindot kayo, mga animal kayo. Hindi ako, ayoko talaga magmure. Pero sabi dito, basahin ko ha. Former President Duterte flew to Hong Kong on Friday, March 7, amid growing speculation about possible issuance of ICC arrest warrant against him. Ano, alam mo yung bulong-bulungan na yan? Putang ina, parang bulong-bulungan yun ng mga kapitbahay nyo eh. Na lahat walang katotohanan. Puro mga chismisan lang yan. Ang tagal na niyang bulong-bulungan na yan. Di ba si Trillanes noon? Buwan nagsasabi, malapit na, arestuin na siya dyan. Ito, pagkatapos ng buwan na ito, arestuin na siya. Wala ganyan sa arestuin. Ano, may nangyayari ba? Wala naman ha. Sa arestuin, hindi, arestuin siya dyan. Arestuin. Gunggong pala kayo eh. Diba? Ito sabi pa dito. Politico learned that Duterte boarded Cathay Pacific flight ganto, which departed Ninoy Aquino at 8:41 a.m. We learn talaga, Politico learn. Lumabas sa social media yan. Yes.
Thank you very much sa inyo guys.
Former Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and staunch Duterte ally Salvador Manero accused. Attacking former President Rodrigo Duterte Morales as fake news. Reports of an arrest order issued against him by the International Criminal Court. Former Chief Presidential Legal
Kaya
Counsel
sabi ni
Salvador Panelo
Panelo,
insists no official document has been made public regarding the alleged arrest order. Panelo adds the Philippine government would be violating the Constitution if it helps in arresting the former president. The ICC is investigating Duterte and some of his allies over his bloody drug war that left thousands dead.
Any government action that will help in the arrest of President Duterte made by foreign institutions is in violation. The Interpol is just an agency that facilitates or share information. It doesn't have the power to arrest. It's the government that will do it for the Interpol. And the Interpol is doing it for the ICC. ICC has no jurisdiction.
Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro earlier said government is ready to assist the Interpol if it will seek help in arresting Duterte. But Castro adds they have not received a copy of the supposed arrest order.
Ang sabi po kasi ng DOJ, since hindi po tayo miyembro ngayon ng ICC, may mga options po kasi ang ICC kung paano nila ito ipapaserve. Interpol po tayo makikipag-ugnayan kung hihingin po ng Interpol ang tulong ng gobyerno po.
The airport security personnel at the Philippines' main gateway were fired by the transportation chief over their involvement in an alleged bullet planting scheme. The so-called Tanimbala scheme is not new to NAIA. It involves airport personnel placing bullets in passengers' luggage. Now that the president is in Hong Kong, and we just heard from Assistant to Counsel to the ICC Attorney Christina Conti. Basically, she's saying how Hong Kong, China, and the Interpol, there is a relationship there. And if there's any arrest that may happen or any assistance that may happen, it can happen while the president is in Hong Kong. What are your thoughts on that? How are you preparing for this, if in case it happens, Attorney Panelo?
I don't think the Chinese government will intervene in the case involving a non-Chinese citizen. It will not.
What makes you optimistic?
But because, number one, ICC has no jurisdiction. Interpol is acting in behalf of ICC. ICC in China had no relation. Why? Because China is not a member of the ICC. And therefore, ICC has no jurisdiction over China. So why should China be helping ICC acting through the Interpol? Assuming that it did not leave it or be.
Okay, we kind of lost you there, but just as a final question here, Attorney Panelo. The palace has said that the government is ready to assist the Interpol if the arrest order is issued versus Duterte. So if the premise is what you said a while ago, right, that the government cannot do anything, and if they do, then it's going to be violative of the Constitution insofar as assisting the Interpol. What are the parameters there? How far can the Philippine government assist the Interpol with regard to this, knowing that it is duty bound to assist the Interpol? Go ahead.
As I said earlier, it cannot assist the Interpol because if the Interpol is acting in behalf of the principal ICC and the principal has no jurisdiction over us, how can the agent legalize something which is a legal act? That's why my position is any government action that will assist any foreign body in arresting the former president, then it is committing an illegal and unconstitutional act and therefore liable not constitutional.
Okay, before we let you go, Attorney Panelo, what's on the agenda today? Where's the former president going to go? What's on the schedule? As I said,
this is sleeping time.
While me and my friends are here in the market eating our lunch.
Sorry to disturb your lunch. Attorney Sal Panelo, their former Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, joining us this noon. Thanks again, Sal. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Attorney Sal Panelo there telling us a bit more.
Oh, shut out!
Nagana po kami ng mailalive. Attorney Pamelo.
Panelo, a staunch ally of Duterte, is coming through the
Just in Hong Kong.
Wala, ano lang. Tulog niya.
Umpisa mo, ano din naman eh. Sa YouTube naman siya.
Ah,
Siya yung si Reaction TV.
reaction.
Reaction TV. Ganyan din yung predict class niya. Para siya.
Malakay na ang mga nagitugon ngayon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa
Meron po tayong espesyal na panauhin na makakasama natin ang baga.
Campaign that killed thousands. The Philippine presidential office says there has been no official communication from Interpol, but indicated that Mr. Duterte could be handed over if the warrant is issued. Mr. Duterte is currently in Hong Kong, and he said he was not at fault for the drug war and justified it as a campaign for peace and national security. He made those remarks while addressing a campaign rally attended by thousands of Filipino workers yesterday. He was in the city to drum up support for his senatorial candidates ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. Now, Mr. Duterte is presently staying at a hotel in Hong Kong, currently under tight security. It is unclear how long he will stay in the city, which is not a party to the ICC. Let's get more. Brenna Burnell joining us live from Metro Manila. Now, Brenna, how are local authorities preparing in the event that the ICC issues this arrest warrant for Mr. Duterte?
Well, a lot of these discussions are still speculative given the absence of a copy of that official warrant coming from the International Criminal Court or ICC. But any move from local law enforcement, if that Rappler report quoting unnamed sources is to be believed that the warrant was issued over the weekend, will depend on the move or the next move of the former President Rodrigo Duterte. Now, he is in Hong Kong, again, reissuing that rhetoric in defense of the drug war, that he did it out of nationalism, out of love for the country, despite that bloody campaign claiming thousands of lives of suspected drug dealers, many of whom did not see their day in court. It is possible for the Philippine government to actually prepare for some mobilizations from the political supporters of Mr. Duterte. If that crowd in Hong Kong is any indication, he still commands a level of loyalty from his base supporters. Now, the Philippines is actually no longer a party to the ICC, the Rome Statute, which created that court because the Philippines withdrew from the Rome Statute in 2018, the effectivity of which came in 2019, a year later under Mr. Duterte. In fact, he's arguing that the ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines because of that withdrawal. ICC prosecutor Kadamikan counter-arguing that the crimes prior to the withdrawal are still covered by the court. And to be clear, the presidential palace Malacanang actually says, despite the Philippines not being a member of the ICC, that it will still cooperate if the ICC courses the warrant through the Interpol.
That's very interesting. Now, we know Mr. Duterte to be a man who makes certain comments and then ends up backtracking on them. So when he says that he's ready for an ICC arrest warrant, is that perhaps a signal that he is willing to cooperate with the probe?
That's right. Mr. Duterte is known for issuing these pronouncements that shock and awe, that grab headlines, but later on he tends to be a person that you cannot take his word on. And it is expected that critics of Mr. Duterte will actually dare him to fly back to the Philippines, given this level of accommodation coming from the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. following the fallout of these two political families, the Marcoses and the Dutertes. This level of accommodation saying the Philippines will comply with the warrant if it is coursed through the Interpol. And the expectation is critics will say fly back to the Philippines and face the music. But former Justice Secretary Laila de Lima, one of the fiercest critics of Mr. Duterte, also saying that there's a possibility that from Hong Kong he could go to mainland China and possibly seek political asylum there. China, of course, Mr. Duterte having established warm ties with Beijing during his presidency. But all these are speculation at best, absent, again, a copy of that official warrant of the International Criminal Court. What we can be assured of, and what we shouldn't undermine, however, is the political acumen behind Mr. Duterte's team. It may be a coincidence that he is in Hong Kong right now, but it could also be an indication that there was prior information leaked to that team.
Many moving parts. We'll watch for how it plays out. Thank you so much. Buena Bernal, reporting live from Metro Manila.
Yeah, so position-wise, unpaid, midway, Portugal, Toyota Box cycles are 5 years plus 2 hours, and TV console. Alright, mga kapatid, meron akong nakita dito galing sa Kabayan News PH. Meron muna tayong emergency landing, no? Ang title nito, sa wakas sumatras na. BP Sara Duterte, Senate President Escudero, good news. Pimentel, pahiya dito. Romualdez, pinatawag. Yan, question mark. Lilinawin.
Sal, you know all this talk about the arrest warrant, alleged arrest warrant being issued by the ICC, and it's going to be the Interpol who's going to execute that arrest warrant. What does the former president know about this?
I don't know about that, but let me give my position on that matter. Number one, the ICC has confirmed that there is a warrant of arrest by the Office of the Prosecutor. Our government, and also
Sal, Attorney Panelo, sorry to cut you there, but your line is coming in choppy. Can you please repeat what you said? Number one, the ICC is what? Go ahead.
Number one, the ICC has not confirmed that it has issued a warrant of arrest for the former president. Number two, even the Office of the Special Prosecutor has also confirmed that. Number three, our own Philippine government has not confirmed that it has been informed or has been shown any warrant of president. So as far as I'm concerned, this is fake news. Now, assuming it's true that there is such a warrant of arrest, it is being alleged that Interpol will do the arresting. It cannot do that.
Why?
Interpol is an international agency